Welcome to the course Train the Trainer for HR Management in Practice. This course is for all those who are interested in becoming both a teacher or a mentor in this new program of the Global Association for Human Resources Management. Eligible are all authors of the handbook for human resources management. The course has 4 sections. The first is the overview. Then I will give an insight both into general training methods and then specifically which training methods are being used in the program. We will talk a bit about certification and finally about the concrete role as a teacher and or a mentor for this program. First to the overview. This is the common overview we always use in the handbook, in the do's and don'ts book, in our LinkedIn forum, in everywhere where we publish things about human resources management. We use this structure in order to reuse and refer to things easily. The course itself has the principle of a Ferris wheel. That means the participants can join at any time because the Ferris wheel has 52 cabins and which equals 52 weeks of a year. It takes 1 year to turn around once. So this is how it looks like. For example, we are here with employer branding, digital recruiting and recruiting events. Then after a week it turns, after another week it turns again, and people can enter at any time because if they, for example, start in week 29, they will end the course at the exact same time after 1 year. A week within the course looks like this. On Monday, the new participants that join the Ferris wheel in this week, they will get a brief introduction into the methods and in our 4 perspectives. And all participants will get new downloads of lecture videos, texts, and audios. From Tuesday to Friday, they have then time to read the teaching material and other recommended reading, post questions, receive answers from the teacher, and also maybe from other students in the forum. On Thursday, we will post a case for Saturday. And on Saturday, we will then have a discussion in a 1-hour discussion in a webinar on the case that was posted on Thursday. On Sunday, there is no program, and then the next week starts. With regard to training methods can be, on the one hand, differentiated between asynchronous and synchronous forms of learning. Asynchronous is everything that where the learner and the teacher are not in the same time. For example, if an author writes a book and the student might read the book 2 years later, or if an author writes a learning letter and the student reads the learning letter 2 days later. That is in the traditional analog form of learning. The same with synchronous learning. In synchronous learning, in the traditional form, for example, classroom learning, that is, teacher speaks and immediately the students hears what the teacher says, so they are at the same time. The same is with one-on-one lessons, for example, coaching. In the digital world, we have the same differentiation. We also have asynchronous forms of learning, for example, online forums, where, let's say, in one time zone, a teacher posts a question while the student still sleeps because he's in another time zone. Then the student wakes up and reads the message, posts something, and the teacher can then read a couple of hours later when he again wakes up the message. So they are asynchronous. The same applies to downloads, similar to learning letters or books, where material is pre-written and uploaded to a learning platform, and then the student can download these tools whenever they want. In the synchronous world, we also have a synchronous type of teaching that are webinars in the digital world. That means that students and teacher are in a virtual classroom and can interact, for example, by chatting or also via audio and video. Let's first start with the online forums. In our course, we use the very far spread, very often used tool Moodle to ask, to post material, and then the students can, in online forums, ask questions and get answers by the teachers. Online forums can be used globally across any time zones, and teachers and learners are completely autonomous with regard to their time allocation. In our international course, we use the forums for questions and answers, and teachers should check the question and answers form once within 24 hours. The next are downloads. So we put the learning material similar to this, what you just are watching here. Learning videos, we will post audiobooks and also the text documents as PDF and also as a simple text if the connection speed is not so good for the students. So they really can decide, do I want to listen? Do I want to listen and watch with a video? Or do I want to read and not using any further technology? That is up to them. We will have the same content in all these different media. And we will use Moodle to post all the downloads. So Moodle is our asynchronous learning platform for the program. For those who know Moodle a bit, they might think, well, why don't we use the synchronous capabilities of Moodle, which it has. There's also a chat function, but the experience is not so great with Moodle. So we'd rather use a specific tool that is Adobe Connect for the synchronous learning. So Moodle for asynchronous, Adobe Connect for the synchronous learning. That already brings us here to the synchronous learning, the webinars, and here you have a screenshot of how the platform Adobe Connect looks like. It has video capabilities. You can post also here documents, and very important, you have a chat function. The teacher can speak to the participants. The participants can type questions. Also, they can get a microphone and ask questions. So, for example, what we do, that we give a case. We say here, for example, a Chinese bicycle producer wants to enter the German market. So, and you as an HR leader should come up with an employer value proposition to attract enough qualified employees in Germany for this company. So what would be your key messages to this target group? That is one exercise that we will use in order to reinforce the learning, the more general learning that has taken place in the year through our in the week with our material. So live webinars can be either used to discuss a case from our book, or a case from a case collection we have, or within a virtual scenario, as you just saw with this Chinese bicycle company. As a teacher in a webinar, you should open the discussion by explaining the case. You should encourage participants with own questions. You should consider to use polls and whiteboard function to increase attention. That is also possible. You can have here a whiteboard where you draw something, everybody sees it at the same time. You can also use polls where you ask them to estimate certain numbers or so. All of this intended to engage them into this program and direct the group to view the cases from all perspectives. So when they concentrate too much on the emotional side, you should then come up, for example, also with the economic side to have a balanced discussion about these topics. The live webinars will take place always on Saturday, so to be not in conflict with most people's work schedule. 10 a.m. Berlin time and 5 p.m. Berlin time. So the first would be for Asia and for Europe, and the second would be for Europe and the Americas. Now to one-on-one lessons. We also offer personal mentorship for the participants. The personal mentor is a guide for the program, should give some advice for future career development. So get an understanding of what the participants want to do want to achieve, and then give, based on their experience, advice in a coaching way. Maximum should be 6 participants per mentor, and it is expected that there should be 4 meetings, means either Skype conversations, phone conversations, or even real-life meetings, if this is possible, during the program. And after the program, participants may also post their resume on our website, but only if they have passed the final certification of the program. So that leads us also to the certification. Certification is optional, is not included in the $2,500 fee. It would consist of writing a thesis and defense of the thesis in a live interview on a real live human resources topic. It will be evaluated by the overall quality and the practical application of the 4 perspectives methods that we use and teach in our handbook. So people will get a normal certificate of attendance for free, but this type of certification, where they really go through an examination, will be at an additional cost, which has not been decided yet how much this will be. Finally, your role as teacher and mentor. For the duration of 1 week, once every 24 hours, you should check the Q&A forum in Moodle, respond to the questions, maybe give examples of own experience and ask the group. Encourage other participants to contribute. So it's estimated that it takes you 2 hours per week at whatever time. This is asynchronous, as already explained, in which you answer these questions. And then you have to reserve this 1 hour webinar on Saturday, either at 10 a.m. or 5 p.m. Berlin time, or if you are in a time zone that allows this, to do also both. You can be teacher for 1 week or also for several weeks. So the minimum is that you do the commitment for these 3 hours for 1 week, but you can certainly also do several weeks, because not all authors want to become teachers. Regarding the mentorship, the minimum commitment is that you take 1 participant. That would be a commitment of 4 hours of mentoring discussions, and you can have up to 6 participants, which would mean 24 hours in a year. So, and sorry for that. Then how is the teacher and the mentoring role compensated? The compensation is based on our credits, so proportionate to the number of hours that you have invested into this program by teaching or mentoring. So let's take total revenue. We will deduct the administrative costs, for example, cost for Adobe Connect. Moodle is free, but Adobe Connect not. So we have to pay for this, and also we will have participant administration for enrollment and for taking care of all the technical needs of the participants that we have to pay for. So that would be the administrative costs, and the rest will be the compensation for you as teachers and or mentors. So let's say we have 20 participants. That would mean 50,000 euro of revenue in a year. There would be 10,000 euro deducted for admin, system cost, also for taxes. So what we can distribute to you would be, in this case, 40,000 euro. And if we assume that a total of 230 hours was necessary, how do we come to the 230 hours? Say teaching would be 50 weeks times 3 hours per week, 150. Mentoring 20 participants, 4 hours per participant would be 80. It's a total of 230. 40,000 revenue divided by 230 hours that authors have invested for the program would be 174 euro per hour. So if you did, let's say, 10 hours of teaching or mentoring, you would then receive 1,740 euro for the 10 hours. Thank you very much for attending, and hope to see you as a teacher or mentor in this program. Bye-bye.